Did you know an entire English colony disappeared without a trace over 400 years ago, leaving behind nothing but a single word carved into a tree? In the late 1500s, over 100 men, women, and children set out to build a new life in the New World. But just 3 years later, when their leader returned, he found nothing. No bodies, no signs of a struggle. Only the word Croatoan, etched into wood, and complete silence. This is the true story of the Lost Colony of Roanoke, one of America, as oldest and most chilling unsolved mysteries. What happened to the colonists? Were they attacked? Did they starve? Or was it something more supernatural? Stay with us as we explore the strange disappearance that still baffles historians to this day. The birth of a colony. Our story begins in 1584, when Queen Elizabeth I of England granted explorer Sir Walter Raleigh a charter to establish a colony in the Americas. By 1587, Raleigh had sent a group of more than 100 settlers, men, women, and children, across the Atlantic. Their destination, Roanoke Island, located off the coast of present-day North Carolina. The colony was led by Governor John White, who not only organized the expedition, but also brought his own family along, including his daughter Eleanor and her newborn baby, Virginia Dare, the first English child born in the New World. But things were far from ideal. Roanoke Island was wild, isolated, and surrounded by Native American tribes, some friendly, others hostile. Food supplies dwindled, crops failed, and tensions grew between the colonists and local tribes. It quickly became clear they would not survive long without help from England. A dangerous journey and a delayed return. Facing starvation and constant danger, Governor White made the painful decision to return to England to gather more supplies and reinforcements. He left behind his family and the entire colony, hoping to return within a few months. But when White arrived in England, war had broken out. The mighty Spanish Armada was threatening the English coast, and every available ship was needed for defense. White was forced to wait, for months, then years. It wasn't until 1590, a full 3 years after he'd left Roanoke, that John White finally secured passage back to the colony. What he found when he arrived would haunt him for the rest of his life. The colony has vanished. When Governor White finally stepped back onto Roanoke Island, he expected joy, tears, maybe even anger. But what he found was nothing. The colony was completely abandoned. The houses and fortifications had been dismantled, not destroyed, as if the people had moved, not been attacked. There were no signs of violence, no graves, no scattered belongings, just an eerie emptiness. And then the only clue, the word Croatoan, carved into one of the wooden posts of the fort, and nearby the letters Crow etched into a tree. White had instructed the colonists to carve a Maltese cross into a tree if they were taken by force or in danger, but there was no cross, no sign of distress. Croatoan was the name of a nearby island, home to the Croatoan tribe, who had been friendly to the English in earlier visits. White believed the colonists had moved there and tried to sail south to find them. But a violent storm forced his ship back to sea, and he never returned. The settlers, his friends, his daughter, and even his granddaughter Virginia Dare, were never seen again. Now we discuss the theories behind the disappearance. For more than 4 centuries, the mystery of Roanoke has remained unsolved. And with no written records, no bodies, and only a single word carved into a tree, speculation has run wild. Historians, archaeologists, and conspiracy theorists alike have all tried to answer the same question: what really happened to the lost colony? Theory 1. Integration with the Croatoan tribe. The most widely accepted theory is that the colonists assimilated with the nearby Croatoan tribe, now known as the Hatteras tribe. Historical accounts suggest the two groups had relatively peaceful interactions. It's possible the colonists, desperate for survival, moved to Croatoan Island and joined the native community. Some later European settlers claimed to have encountered Native Americans with European features like gray eyes or fair skin, fueling the belief that the Roanoke settlers left descendants behind. Theory 2. Relocation to the Chesapeake Bay. Governor White had originally intended to settle in the Chesapeake Bay area, not Roanoke. Some historians believe the colonists may have tried to relocate there in his absence. If they did, they could have fallen victim to starvation, disease, or conflict with hostile tribes. Theory 3. Spanish attack or tribal conflict. During this era, Spain and England were bitter rivals. The Spanish had already destroyed other early English outposts, and it's possible Roanoke was no exception. Another possibility is a violent encounter with local tribes, perhaps the Croatoan or other groups less welcoming than the Croatoans. Yet, strangely, no evidence of a raid or massacre was ever found. Theory 4. Supernatural and paranormal explanations. Then there are the legends, the more chilling, eerie tales. Some say the land itself was cursed, plagued by dark spirits that consumed the settlers. The word Croatoan has appeared in a surprising number of unrelated disappearances, including Edgar Allan Poe's Final Days, where he allegedly uttered the word before dying. Fact, fiction, or something more terrifying. Legacy and modern investigations. Even today, researchers are still trying to solve the puzzle of Roanoke. Modern archaeological digs on Hatteras Island have uncovered artifacts such as English tools and pottery dating back to the 16th century. Could this be proof the settlers joined the Croatoans? Possibly, but the findings are sparse and inconclusive. In 2012, researchers discovered a hidden map patch on John White's original chart of Virginia. Underneath was a symbol possibly indicating a secret location inland where the settlers may have moved. Teams have explored that area too, but again, no definitive answers. Despite technology, satellites, and ground-penetrating radar, the fate of the lost colony remains elusive, making it one of America's oldest and most haunting cold cases. More than 400 years later, we are still left with questions and whispers. An entire colony, men, women, and children, vanished into history without a sound. No graves, no remains, only a single carved word and an endless sea of speculation. Was it a story of survival and quiet integration, or a chilling tale of mass disappearance under mysterious forces? The truth may never be known, but one thing is certain. The legend of the lost colony of Roanoke continues to haunt the pages of history, reminding us that some secrets are buried deeper than we can ever dig, and perhaps some are meant to stay lost.